Welcome to another episode of Maximizing Your Potential. You know, it's something that I'm very passionate about, and I desire it for you. I desire it for everyone to really find, to connect with their sweet spot, something that they say to themselves, you know, this is me. I'm in my element. I desire that everyone has more of those I'm in my element moments for yourself. Because when you are in your element, you are at your maximum productivity. My name is Sherry Shereni, and it's my passion to help you to maximize your potential. Now, today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that, especially for women, you hear it come up quite a lot. It's called finding balance in life. You know, women, we pride ourselves by saying we are multitaskers. We can do multiple things at the same time. Yeah, true and false at the same time. True in the sense that, yeah, it's possible to do quite a lot of things at the same time. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that. But also false in the sense that, are you really maximizing your potential? Are you operating at your best at that particular time? Do you really have to be doing so many things at the same time? Are you really finding the balance? If you are not coming true and honest with yourself at that particular moment of time, many times you are just being busy but not accomplishing results. And you don't want to be a busybody. You just don't want to be consuming time and not seeing what that time is yielding for you. You know, one of the things, statements that challenged me, I don't know how true it is, but whatever it is, it's still something that challenges you. I think it is said of Bill Gates. He was asked by someone, and they said, "What's your worth?" And his response was, "Before you spoke or after?" Here is someone who knows the value of every minute. Every moment is counting. So are you finding balance? Because for some, to get every moment to count, they are heavily invested in their business or in their career at the expense of everything else. For others, they're just heavily invested, probably in family life only, and have relegated everything else. But it's also beginning to cause certain discomforts here and there. But they are saying, this is my priority at the moment. Priorities, yes, but are you finding balance in life? That is the critical question. And the next is related to it. Is it possible to find balance in life? Because many people have said it's not possible. For me, my inspiration comes from my faith. You know, I read about a particular woman who was an entrepreneur. She looked like she had a big house because she had more than one servant in that house who were taking care of certain aspects of the chores of her household. She could do import and export business. She could look at a field, she could consider property and say, I want that, and get it. And she would deal, she was involved in real estate. She became my inspiration, my admiration, because her life was so well balanced that her family spoke well of her. Her husband spoke well of her. Her community spoke well of her. And one of the exclamations about this woman is that she excelled everybody else. Now I had to ask myself, is it possible to ever excel everyone else? I will get to that. But let's get back to the balance question. How do you find balance in life? For me, the pin dropped when I was taught to look at my life in totality. To know that my life is like a wheel which has spokes. And in one spoke, you are talking of family and career. In another, it's social and welfare. In another, it's mental and educational. Another, it's family, something to do with your family. Another is something to do with your health. And this tool I was taught, I learned about it together with my children from Success Motivation International. And I'm just trying to help you understand how this tool becomes so practical to me. There are many other tools out there, but I needed to acknowledge this one because it really was a game changer for me. Finding balance in life is you at any moment in your time or in a phase of time. A phase could be a period of time, maybe 3 years or whatever, where you are saying, this season, this period of my time, of my life, I want to build a house, or I want to get a degree, or I want to accomplish this, I want to accomplish that, whatever, or I want to raise children. Whatever it is that becomes important to you at that particular moment in time. We all have 24 hours in a day. You need to start to look at, okay, this is important to me to raise children, but I also need to feed them, and feeding them requires money. How much time, how much of a priority is you finding resources to feed your children in your wheel of life? So as you balance out, as you determine what is important to you at that particular moment in time, you allocate time. You say, for me to be able to have this, this is what I need to do in order for me to accomplish what I need to accomplish. And this is who I need to be in order for me to be able to do what I said I must do in order to have what I need to have for the things that are most important in my life. But don't leave out the other areas of life. Don't leave out the social elements, because sometimes we get so invested in a particular area of life that we forget that we need to feed our spirit. We need to relate to other people. We are members of a community. We need to engage with what is going on in our surroundings. That too is not good. But what you may then determine in that area, in those areas out of your wheel of life, let's say you have itemized 6 areas in your life. You then determine, for those that are not too much of a priority, I still need to do something about them. But how much time am I going to allocate to them? What's important for me to do in that particular area of my life? It's important to relate to other people. So for example, if you are pursuing a degree program, studies take a lot of time. You probably are pursuing that degree program while you are also at work. It means the time available for you to be involved in other areas of life become limited. But make a few call-outs, and I want you to mark this. Make a few call-outs of what is important in the social arena. You may say, for example, if a funeral happens in the family, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, but I'm not going to be able to be there for the whole period of time because my time is limited during this period because I need to focus on A, B, C, D. But I'll make sure my presence is felt by doing 1, 2, 3 things, either by supporting the development in any way you can, or by being there at a critical moment. I'll go and be there for this particular period of time, and then I'll pull myself away. Does it make you unpopular? It definitely will. In many cases, it will make you unpopular. But if you are going to pursue the popularity game, you're not going to maximize your potential. You need to satisfy you first and foremost before you please everybody else. You can't be all things to all people. Before you know it, once you have really identified what's important in a particular area, for example, in the area of health, I'm going to be exercising, or I will be walking, and I'll take my walks around this particular time as I'm refreshing, as I'm walking with my children or whatever, or I'm just going to spend 30 minutes in the gym 3 days a week. That's important. Or at church, you begin to shed away a lot of other responsibilities and say, this I will be found, I will do. But what's important is communicate. I said call outs, call it out. What is it that you are going to do? The next thing, communicate. Communicate with your key stakeholders so that you are managing the expectations that they have of you. They don't continue to depend on you in an area where you know yourself, you can't lend yourself to it. If it's unpleasant, it's tough, but as long as you are authentic, authenticity takes away the politics. Authenticity takes away the gossip. As long as you are authentic and true to yourself, before you know it, people will get accustomed to the reality that you are pushing towards them to say, you know what, I've carved my space. This is what I'm doing. I've communicated it to you. Take it. If you don't want to take it, leave it, but it's no longer my problem. I have explained it, because many times we carry people's monkeys and we overburden ourselves to try and accomplish other people's purposes. And we are undermining our potential, because this is not something that we really want to do. It's not something that is energizing us. For as long as you begin to grumble about you, it's taking away from your potential. As long as you begin to gossip about someone telling you or directing you to do this and that, it's actually taking away from your potential. It's actually feeding negative energy into you. So that's the thing that you need to manage. You can actually live a gossip-free, a murmuring-free, a grumbling-free life if you are true to what it is that is important to you at that particular moment in time. If you call it out and if you communicate to key stakeholders, not necessarily to everyone. The detail is not needed by everyone. And sometimes it may mean you consume less of social media in order for you to accomplish what it is. As long as you have made call-outs in every area in your wheel of life, you are living a balanced life. Does it mean the will remain like that for the rest of your life? No, it will change. If you had prioritized getting a degree, once you get your degree, you reshift, you refocus the times. You are now allocating more time to the pursuit of another thing that is more important to you than what was important to you in the previous years. As you keep those adjustments, you will remain in balance, because where it concerns you lending yourself society-wise, you are there. In the community, you are there. To your family, you are there. One of the things in the busiest moments of my life that became very critical in me finding balance was for me to say to myself, to define to my children, you do what the best that you can. I will do the best that I can in order to support what you are doing. Give me a good report. Even if the best you can do is a D, I will celebrate you. We will have moments of fun. And we will define, if you give me this, we will have fun, we will go to this place, we will go to that place. And as we energize ourselves around focus areas and then accomplish our goals, and we begin to reward ourselves, we were living in balance. I was lending myself to my children. I remember coaching women has always been a part of my life from when I was young. But I knew I needed to spend time during weekends with my children. So I told the women if they wanted to be coached, they would have to come at 7 a.m. even in winter. And as sure as anything, they would come between 7 and 9. Because from 9 o'clock, my children would be up during weekends, and I want to have more time with them on a Saturday, and I want to lend myself to them. I have coached, I have still had time with my children, and because I know my best part of day, I have slept early, and I woke up early. I have done everything that I need to do in order to feel fulfilled in myself, that I have accomplished what I need to accomplish. And in each area, I'm maximized. At the workplace, I have identified what it is that I will deliver. I have engaged my boss. I have said, don't supervise me. As long as we agree on what you want and what I can give you and what is realistic for me to give you, you don't need to supervise me. I will get it done. Because I had defined myself that I'm not an employee. I'm a business partner. So I needed to be, the conversation shifts, the expectation shifts. And as I do that, as I fulfill myself in areas that are important, those that require little of my time, I make the necessary call-outs. I make the necessary communications. I lend myself to what I find is important at that particular moment. You will find that you are living a life of balance. So balance is possible. I found it in this woman, this inspirational woman that I told you about, that she was a businesswoman, she was a family woman, she was a community woman, she was a woman managing a home, managing the affairs of a big home for that matter. So I want you to know that it is very possible for you to find balance in life. It is extremely possible. And if anything that I have said has resonated with you, and you are beginning to feel it can be possible, I think it is possible. If you are feeling that way, I want to see you in the next episode.